Happy New Day, CSA.
Happy New Year.
How feels each and every one of you this wonderful, lovely new day? How feels wonderful, beautiful, handsome, enlightened, and fantastically prosperous and healthy you this wonderful, lovely new day? Well, I welcome all of you to today's program. Our topic for today is the creative process, and we'll be reading from the Holy Bible, from the first and a few of the second chapters, and it's about how this world was created according to Genesis. And it will also reveal to us how we can also create a wonderful world for ourselves and others. From the first chapter of Genesis, the book of the beginning, written by Moses, we read, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, with capital D, and the darkness he called night, with capital N. And the first evening and the morning were the first day. I will stop here. I will continue reading. We are told that in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. It didn't say the sky and the ground on which we walk. But when you listen to Jesus' teaching, he says that the kingdom cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, "Lo here," or "Lo there," for behold, the kingdom of heaven is within us. So God created the inside and the outside. Now, he didn't say that there was anything lacking on the inside, but on the outside, where manifestation has to happen, there was nothing. And so all of the good things that God wanted to create were within. And he said that the Spirit of God moved. The Spirit of God did what? Moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. But before then, we were told that the earth manifestation was without, there was no form, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, which means that the inside, the deep, was there with all the attributes and characteristics of God, of everything that God wanted to manifest, but there was nothing in manifestation. And God called forth light. Last week, you remember I told you that the initial movement created space, time, light particles, but there was one thing, the the sound of the creative energy which was manifesting. And so God saw the light that it was good. And he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the night and the day, the night and the morning was the first day. Now, before anything happened, God created the inside and the outside. You know that when you close your eyes, the first thing you see is darkness. And when you concentrate on the spiritual eye for some time, when the thoughts and the feelings settle down, a beam of light appears. Now, the light that shineth in the darkness is your reflection, your true nature in the body. But you can go beyond light and sound. And then, after God created that, he started manifesting other things. We are told, last week I told you that it is said that the outflowing universe is the outbreathing of God. And when God breathes in, he draws the world back to himself. And so there were firmaments created. And it was to divide the inside from the outside. And also, God created every living thing, and the last to be created was man. Which means that after God created the planets and then created the trees and the animals, the last to be created was man. Which means that in the hierarchy, man is the highest, because when you look at the farthest that the breath goes, you find the solid earth, but when it comes inward, then it is closer Godward. Then we have the opportunity to know God better than any other thing. But everything that you see in this universe, everything is the energy of God appearing as. And so God, it says, after God had created everything, on the 26th verse, he says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. See, when you look at this original blessing on man, God didn't say that I've made you sinners. And a sinner is a mistake. A sin is an error. And so God blessed man and conferred some possibilities on each and every one of us. But the scripture says that, it says, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. When he says let us, let God and who? You see, there is a plural aspect of God known as the Elohim. Known as the what? Elohim. And so God assumed viewpoints. And he said, let us make man in our own image according to our likeness. So each and every one of us is in the process of making man in your own image and after your likeness. So the image and imagination, whatsoever a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So we create our own world. And when he says, so God made man in his own image and after his likeness, in the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. So in the image of God created he him. The real being in the male and female bodies is the image of God. So the female is not higher than the man and the man is not higher than the female, because the same image is in each and every body. You understand? And that image is you. That image is the self. That image is the only begotten Son. Is the only what? Begotten Son. And that is what we are in this world to realize. We are in this world to awaken to our divine selfhood. And so, when Jesus was born, his parents didn't call him Jesus Christ. The word Christ was happened when he asked his disciples, who do men say I am? And he said, some say you are Moses, some say you are Elijah, some say you are this, and some say you are that. And he said, but who do you say I am? The rest of the disciples kept quiet, and Paul said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Because he saw the awakened consciousness in him, and he told him, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father, who dwelleth in you, he has revealed this to you. So we are all to awaken to our Christ nature. And this past 25th December was not to eat jollof and to slaughter goats, but to enter into contemplation, to awaken, to remind ourselves that our true nature is the Christ. That is why it says that Christ in you, the hope of glory. You see, a lot of pastors have lied to us, And so we have been burdened with this huge sense of separateness from God, that whenever we are told that we are divine beings, no, I'm a sinner. Well, how can I be divine? You know how many people I've killed, you know how many errors I've made. How can being a divine being like me make all those errors? So I'm a man. You see, when you are in a state of delusion, when you feel that sense of separation from God, what happens is that because you are not aware of your divine nature, you act according to your level of awareness. And so in New Thought, we say that every one of us acts, thinks, and speaks according to our level of consciousness. Where we are within is how we act without. But remember that it is said that greater is He that is in you. The presence of God in you is greater than he that is in the world. This is the He that is in the world. But the He that is in you is your spiritual nature. And you are being called to awaken to that. As you see, when some people try to get some little metaphysics to learn how to manifest things, then they wield power over their fellow men and try to tell them I'm bigger than you, and so you must obey me, and they trample upon the rights of others. No. A true awakened being never tramples on the rights of others, but helps others to awaken as he has also awakened. Now, when we get to chapter 2, it talks about how God created man, both male and female, and called their name Adam. But that is what I'm looking for now. I think it will be in chapter 3. But after God created Adam, he saw that man was alone. And he knew that man must have a companion. So they said, and the Lord said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an help meet for him." And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he will call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. You know, God didn't tell Adam that this is a crocodile, and this is an eagle, and this is a chicken. We named all of them. And in every part of the world, in every language, we have names for all the creatures that are in our environment. You understand? God showed them to us, and we gave them names. Now, the name Adam is a mystery to many people, but I found out the solution to this mystery. Our true self. I'm reading from the Chandogya Upanishad. He says, the self is a dam. Adam is a dam, a separating boundary for keeping these worlds apart. This dam is not passed by day and night, by old age, death and grief, or by good and evil deeds. All evils turn back from it, for the world of Brahman is free from all evils. You see, that deep place, that is where the self with capital S is. The small s, the self we call, is this body mind. Okay? And he called the first man Adam. That big self lives beyond that boundary which separates from the inside from the outside. You understand? And we must cross that boundary with our attention. We must feel after him and find him, though he is not separate from every one of us. For in him we live and move and have our being. When you awaken to your Christ nature, when you awaken to your spiritual nature, you find out that it is the same spirit as God. That you are not this body. This body is not your reality. In fact, this body is a gift from your earthly parents. You came to experience earth in this body provided by your parents, but that does not make it you. The real you is the real self within. And this self can be known through the process of meditation. Meditation, we say, is the natural process we use to relax the body, calm the mind, settle the feelings, so that we may rest in our original nature as spiritual being. You see that it is shared that on the seventh day, on the seventh level, God created the Sabbath, a day in which we will not work. It is beyond mind. It is that the peace that passes all understanding. It is the peace that passes all activity. And if we are able to find that peace and rest in it, we would have found what we really are. Now, God made all the animals pass by Adam. And in fact, every circumstance that's passed by Adam, God didn't say that this is the name, call it this. But we call whatever we see by whatever name it is. And if our attention is focused on the outside, we see two powers at play. Now, when God created Adam, he said this to Adam. He said, and the Lord took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. He took the man to the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. Now, the image of God, does it die? Okay. But this body, this energy, it changes. Okay? And so when you see a person die, or the spirit leaves the body, we see with him, he has left it. And then they call this bonyo. Bonyo. It's like inhabitant of death. Okay? Now, there is something that I want to call your attention to. When a person, when the spirit is living in the body, we give the body a name and the spirit responds to it. But anytime you ask a person, what is your name? What does the person say? He calls his name first. I am called, I am called so and so. But if someone is to walk in here and ask, who is I am here? I know everyone will be quiet, because you think that you are not I am. But if you know you are, if you know you are existing, your existence, you have to raise your hand. You understand? But most of the time, when we are suffering from the sense of separate existence, when they ask us whether we are, we keep quiet, because we don't know whether we are alive or not. You see? And then it is shared that Adam, when he saw all the animals, something rose up within him. Because all the animals were male and female. You understand? And so they said, God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam. And then from his side, he took a rib, and from the rib created a woman. But, my son, the medical doctor, is not here. I would have asked him, he looks at x-rays most of the time, whether one rib of any man is missing. We all have the same number of ribs. But you see, the ribs cover the heart. So the thing which was on the heart of Adam was for a helpmate, was for a partner. And God took that. And it shows you how we can use the process of creative imagination to bring the purposes in our hearts. Because it says that from the heart comes everything that we see in nature. All these chairs, the fans, the air conditionings, your clothing, everything has come through the process of imagination. Because if you cannot create the picture of it, you cannot see it. If you can have a clear picture of it, you can manifest it. And everything is given shape and form in the realm of manifestation. And so, the first creative act which God showed us was the creation of woman. And Adam called his partner Eve. And what do we call 24th December. And on Christmas Eve, what is our main anticipation? I can't hear you. The birth. The birth of Jesus. Okay. We know that it is time. So, whatever you experience must first be conceived. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe in, he can achieve. You understand? Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe in can be achieved. And therefore, whatever it is that is on your heart, if you can have a clear image of it and have this feeling of it already manifested, God will manifest it for you. God will bring the people and the circumstances to show you. You see, millionaires, they don't print money. Millionaires and billionaires. No, they don't print money. But they make a lot of money. You understand? It is because they are able to creatively manifest some action which makes money come to them. An action which benefits people. And so if you can also manifest an action which benefits so many people, you can also make plenty of money. But instead of creating that thing within, we think that we can beat the world by taking what other people have to have money. They said, thou art the maker of thy lot. Think ahead, O son of man. On none depend thy life to plan, for thou art the maker of thy lot. Thou art the maker of thy lot. Think ahead, O son of man. On none depend thy life to plan, for thou art the maker of thy lot. You are the maker of your lot. Whatever happens in your life, you either cause it or you allow it to happen. And so you must be responsible. You must be able to answer and look at your life and look at all the bad things that you have created and all the good things that you have created. The bad things, they teach you, both teach you, but the bad experiences, they teach you that this is not the way to go. And the mother of all living was called Eve. Before the event, if you can conceive and believe in whatever it is that you want to see manifest, God will manifest it for you. It is bound to happen. And we are told that God told Adam that of all the trees in the garden he can eat of, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, of the fruit of the tree of knowledge and evil, he should not eat of it. Now, have you ever seen a tree of knowledge of good and evil on this planet? But you see people going to church to cane the devil and to fight with the devil every Sunday. They are eating of the fruit Womu edi to eat. Take and eat. In Akan, GD is, take and eat. Ga hemo kayeli in ewe horse. You understand? All the same thing. It has to do with faith. He said, faith is the substance of things hoped for. The evidence of things not seen. You have not seen the devil before. How many of you have seen the devil before? But you are afraid of it. And so when they say bring a gun to shoot the devil, how can you shoot spirit? You understand? You see, we do things which does not make sense, but somehow when we are in a state of error, it makes sense to us. And that thing has really controlled the minds of people in Africa so much. But when you look at our language, which we have lost, we are in the process of, look, you see the Ghana language. Within the next 50 years or so, very few people will be speaking Ghana. It's almost becoming a dead language now. You see, there are languages which are dying. And language is what the communication we make to enhance our environment. You see, Ghana, in our language, we don't have a language for maintenance. Okay, any guy here to tell me what maintenance, the word for maintenance in Ghana? It is not maintenance. Look at it very well. Come on, Ojuba, look at it very well. Isn't that right? It's not maintenance. I can't. Maintenance. Give me. That is not maintenance. Repair. You see? CSA is repair. In Ewe. Give me. You see? Quiet. You see? Because of that, you see, we have a habit in this country. We can maintain things. You understand? Every time I say, it's sport, let's throw it away. When whatever is given to us, we spoil it and we throw it away. But language is what we build our civilizations on. The structure that helps us build our civilization. And you know what we call evil in Akan? Bonzi, that which smells. And in Ghana, Isha. The same thing, that which smells. Now, when you go to America, we have a lot of inspirational teachers who talk about stinking thinking. Stinking thinking. That is negative thinking. And when any form suggests to you to believe in two powers, then you are thinking stinkingly. You see? Then you die to your true nature as a spiritual being. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that he who kills and he who thinks he is killed, both of them are wrong, because the real self can never be killed, or can it kill? You understand? So your true nature is beyond death and all the negativity that you see. I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. But then we go and give it to another thing called Satan. And we create a cult around Satan. And you have people who say they want to be wicked, so they want to worship Satan. It's all a sense of separate existence. But for you, what I will tell you is that cross that boundary which separates the real nature from manifestation, and you will live in the world of infinite possibilities, and you will stay in touch, in constant touch with God, the Creator, and you will create a wonderful world for yourself and others. I trust this little explanation will rekindle that eternal memory of what you truly are in you and help you look in the right direction to discover your true nature as spiritual existence. And I thank you for lending me your ears. Namaste.
You say there's no maintenance in our land. That to maintain something, to take good care of it, preserve it, if that is so, when we have it in our land, like in empty, it says, take good care of it. How can I take good care of it without maintaining it in our land? So we have